For the first layer, I aim to create the illusion of shadows and a background for the bush. I used the light Portland gray deep to create the dark patches and Portland gray light to create the lighter patches in the background. I used chromium oxide green and phthalo green for the green patches. At this stage, I use a large flat brush without worrying about details. I wanted to create some very dark patches, so I used sap green and diocesan purple. To enhance the brightness of the light patches, I added white, creating the illusion of light shining through. I cleaned the glass palette to make more space. I began painting the stems and flowers of the bush. I used phthalo green for the stems, chromium oxide green for the leaves, cadmium yellow medium for the flowers. I shouldn't have spent too much time on the details of these stems and flowers, because I used them all as shadows before adding another layer of details. I continued to paint the stems, leaves, and flowers of the bush in a similar fashion. For this task, I used filbert brushes. I typically use different filbert brushes for the stems, leaves, and flowers. This way, the colors wouldn't be contaminated and they would stay saturated. For this part, I painted on the stems and leaves first, then went back to paint the yellow flowers. Here, I use fat medium to blur the stems and flowers, making them look out of focus. At that moment, I regretted adding too much detail to them. All of these stems, leaves, and flowers now became shadows. I created a base color by mixing phthalo blue, cadmium lemon, and chromium oxide green. For the stems, I used a mixture of burnt umber, ultramarine blue, and raw sienna. First, I painted the stems, and then I painted the leaves with the base color. For shading the leaves, I used straight phthalo green. For the leaf highlights, I mixed the base color with cadmium lemon and white. For the small flowers, I used straight cadmium yellow medium. Once again, I used different filbert brushes for the stems, leaves, and flowers to prevent the hues from getting contaminated. Similarly, I created the rest of the top layer of the bush using the same method. I personally feel that the green I used didn't look natural enough. Using straight phthalo green probably wasn't a good choice for the shadows. In this case, phthalo green felt too cold and overpowering. Also, phthalo green didn't appear natural here. If I were to paint this again, I would use warmer tones for the shadows. To continue with the spider web, I needed all the paint to dry first. While waiting for the paint to dry, I might as well work on the bottom of the canvas. I typically choose the darkest shadow of the background for the bottom edge. For this painting, I used sap green and diocesan purple mixed with paint thinner and linseed oil for fast drying. After 2 days, the top layer had dried enough for me to continue working on it. I used straight Portland gray line for the spider web. I used a 00 round brush for this task. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more content. a spider too. I used burnt umber, raw sienna, and Portland gray light to paint a very simple looking spider. After all, the focal point of this painting is the spiderweb. As the spiderweb reached the bottom, it appeared slightly out of focus. I mixed Portland gray lights with oil and painted broken lights to create the illusion of the out of focus spiderweb. I use straight white to add highlights and dew drops to the spiderweb. Let's take a look at the completed painting. Thank you for watching.